Hello and welcome back, guys, to another video for SRCC GBO aspirants. Today, I have three of the placement committee members of SRCC GBO, and I've caught them today and made them sit to answer all your questions around placement preparation, what goes into calling in companies, and what is the reality of placements at SRCC GBO, right? Because when we are making videos, we get that one question each and every day: that how are the placements, what are the profiles coming, how has the placement evolved over the course of years. So let's start the video. But before that, I would like Rahul, Ashpreet, and Karan, all the placement committee members, to just introduce themselves and just tell a bit about themselves to the audience.
Sure. Hi everyone. My name is Rahul Sharma, and I'm a BCom Honors graduate from Sri Venkateswar College. That is the part of the Delhi University itself. And I hold an experience of close to 18 months with finance and a bit exposure to human resources as well. And I got to spend my summers for pursuing my internship with Kotak Life in their Mumbai headquarters. So that's a pretty much brief about me.
Hi everybody, I'm Ashpreet Kaur and I'm a mathematics honors graduate from Ram College. Right after my graduation, I joined PGD GBO at SRCC and I did my internship with Credit.
Hi guys, this is Karan Mittal. I pursued economics honors from Atmaram Sanatan Dharma College, Delhi University. I'm a member of the placement committee, as Mr. Nikhil just told you. And I have always been interested into strategic roles. I've completed my internship in marketing strategy role in the company Droom Technology. And I'm looking forward to make a career in the strategic role itself.
Okay, that's awesome, right? So you three have your own diverse backgrounds, and you three have done your internships and in these diverse backgrounds as well. Before I dive in and I grill you on the questions of placements, let's start with that first question that any aspirant is looking an answer for: how to prepare for SRCC GBO in the 1.5, 2 months. Usually, people are filling the forms in the month of November, December, and early January, and then they're simultaneously starting, they're getting their CAT scores, they're getting the other exam score. So how do you prepare for someone who has already kind of given their other exams like CAT, SNAP, and MAT, and now they're trying to get into SRCC GBO?
So I believe that SRCC GBO is not the kind of exam that tests you on your ability to answer difficult questions. Rather, it tests you on your ability to answer the easier to moderate ones quickly and accurately. So a good strategy, like if you're already been preparing for management exams, so you are already very much clear with your concepts by this juncture of time. So what you now need to do is to prepare well and practice well. And mocks come in really handy when it comes to preparing for SRCC GPO exam. You can refer to Mock Zone or Study Bus, and these are the platforms I'm aware of. If you practice your mocks sincerely, what you get to know is your own strengths and weaknesses, which can help you strategize accordingly for the D-Day. So, since there is no sectional cutoff also, which is again a plus point, you can really understand what areas you are good at, and you can practice more on that and be really good at, which can help you in your exam. I think that is the strategy that I followed.
So I believe that Ashpreet mentioned a few good points for people who are actually pursuing or who are actually aiming for SRCC GBO and have already given a few other entrance exams. But being in this college, I have also observed a few students who have actually just given this exam and not even the other entrance exams. So I would say the strategy for those people also is very important because they actually need to build everything from the scratch. They need to learn everything. They need to learn all the concepts. So for them, I would say, to add on a few points, that as Ashpreet mentioned, that the level is easier to moderate. So they don't need to go into very detailed structured analysis of a question or maybe some particular subject or a course. So it's better for them to actually go on the basic concepts, understanding what the concept has to offer and what questions might look like, and then they can proceed accordingly. Of course, it's a speed-based test. Focusing on more and more mocks and enhancing your strategy and speed accordingly is the best way to proceed, go ahead with. And no sectional cutoff. This is one of the best advantages. No any general knowledge section. So focusing on your strengths, core areas can actually give you an edge over the other candidates.
Preparation for SRCC GBO is no different than any other MP entrance exams. If you have prepared well for CAT, you have prepared well for SNAP, you have covered the syllabus for the SRCC GBO too, because it's at the end, all the sections that are coming for this exam are also same. So if you have prepared well for them, you have actually prepared for the SRCC GBO too. The only difference here is that it is on a comparatively on an easier side, and the strategy here is to pick out those easy questions first and maximizing your score. So, in my opinion, if you have done well in the CAT exam or the other exams, you'll do well in SRCC GBO too.
Right. And I think an interesting insight is that it tests your accuracy and your time management at the same time, right? One standard question that I get almost in on every video as a comment is that how is it compared to CAT?
I would take this up. I would say that when it comes to the level of difficulty of the exam, so SRCC GBO entrance exam is of course not that tough when it is comparable to CAT and maybe exams like XAT. But we can definitely compare the level sometimes with SNAP and NMAT. And the level, the focus of an exam is completely different for all the candidates. Like CAT majorly focus on good accuracy. Even if we sometimes attempt less number of questions with good accuracy, we'll be able to score a good cutoff. We'll be able to make it to 90, 95, 98 percentile in CAT exam in a sectional cutoff. But when it comes to SRCC GBO, the number of questions you attempt also matters, because if you're actually attempting less and having good accuracy, you won't be able to land in the top 10, 15 students or top 30 students in the all over India. So basically, that is what we said, that focusing on accuracy and the number of questions, both things are very important in SRCC GBO when we compare it to the other entrance exams. So the aim that SRCC entrance exam looks for in a candidate while they go and attempt the exam is that they want to see that how a student actually chooses the question, which section they chooses, do they play well on their core strengths, can they actually focus on what they're good at and actually compromise a bit on what they lack in. Because at the end, we all know that there's no sectional cutoff, and that is a very big advantage for the students who apply for it. So it helped me a lot. The sectional cutoff thing always helps every candidate. In fact, when I connect with other students, they also tell the same story, that they played with their strengths, their core areas, and that made them land to the college that where we are right now.
I mean, you need to win and you need to lose some battles to win the whole war of SRC's GBO.
Absolutely.
That should sum it up, and I agree with that as well. If you have any questions on the preparation part, make sure you comment down, and all four of us would be very happy to answer you back on the preparation part as well. But I want to now get into the placements part, the part that concerns us the most, right from day one, the day we enter the college, right? So, Rahul, tell me anything about placement that you would like to, spill out in terms of how has placements been this year and what has been the year-on-year effect. 2022 was still good. We were all in the fear of recession. We still are, right? So how have the placements been at SRCC GBO?
Like, yes, the placement committee is driven by all the students. So we have a team of like around 15 members comprising from the junior team and the senior team. And we are really happy to share that we are doing really great in terms of the placement this year. And very soon we'll be signing out all the students with the placement. And it will be publicly out in the domain as well. What are the increases with the different statistics, be it the average play packages or the top 25 package to 50% packages. So there is a substantial increase with all of them. And this year we have got to onboard really good brands with our college, with the crown of SRCC GBO. We have added a great big giant conglomerates to the list of our prominent recruiters. And not just that, we have got really good testimonials from all the recruiters, and they have not just hired very few people, but the students in two-digit numbers with a small batch size of 80 to 90 students at SRCC GBO. So this is the kind of the response that we have got this year, and hopefully very soon we'll be signing out all the students, and it will be out publicly as well.
Okay, awesome. One thing is what has been the year-on-year effect, and I see whenever I talk to a placement committee member or any of the current students, I always ask them, how do you think the placements have evolved, right? So if one of you just could answer on how the placements have evolved, including what has happened to internships, what has happened to the final placement. When we see the numbers, yes, it has grown, right? But how do you see it as a change as a placement committee member?
See, I would like to take this up. So basically, we have seen that GBO is almost a 22, 23-year-old course when it was established. So over the last 22 years, since the course is a bit new, the placements gradually grow up. We have seen that since the initial phase when the college actually opened up with this course, the placements weren't that good, to be honest. But gradually with time, the placements have been continuously growing at very good pace. We are now landing in the tier 2 sector of the B schools all over country. And what I believe is, I would like to tell you a few maybe statistics in year-on-year growth, what it has been in the last 3-4 years, rather than focusing on how it has been in the last 10 years. Because I believe that the last 3-4 years are more than enough for any student or any aspiring candidate to actually understand what the college is right now. So in the last 3 years, we have actually observed that SRCC GBO has maybe increased the numbers from the number of opportunities and the number of students placed from 60%, 70% to now 100%. And answering your question, when you asked that there are some exceptional cases, Of course, completely agreed. There are some exceptional students because we are supposed to abide by the placement policy and some rules and regulations. And there might be a few rare students who do not abide by those. So in that case, we are forced to not place them and maybe keep them out of the placement process because of the rules and regulations that any college has to follow. So the year on year growth has been amazing. It has been super for SRCC GBO. We are actually reaching heights where I have not seen any other B school of our level actually increasing in, being better year on year by this rate. Connecting about the last year statistics, I saw a video on your channel only, Nige. So it said that it already displayed that the year on year growth has been amazing, 27% increase, 30% increase in the highest package. We have seen already that we are landing at 23.5 and more than that as the highest package. Last year it was 23.5. Maybe this year it can increase again. We're not supposed to disclose anything, but it can. And it might. So you'll be able to see that in the next placement report when we publish it. We actually agree and we actually understand that the number of opportunities, the number of offers, the number of roles, the stats part, the package, every single thing has been going pretty good for SRCC GBO. The number of offers have been increasing by more than 20-30% every year. It's a very good number, very, very good number for any B school. And we believe that any student, if he or she enters SRCC GBO, they'll be given so many opportunities to get them placed, to get them land in the top 10-20% of the packages. And they'll be able to gain an ROI of more than 600%, 700% in SRCC, which is one of the biggest factors for joining GBO. So for any course, any management program, SRCC GBO might be one of the best options available for people like us as well. We converted a few other colleges in the top sector as well, like Nasimunji Mumbai. I converted it. We converted a few good colleges, but then also we chose to go for GBO because we believe that if we land in the top 10%, we'll be able to actually be better and land somewhere better than the other students, or maybe where the top B schools can provide us an opportunity to. I think that sums up what your question was.
No, actually, that's awesome. I mean, getting that insight from you, someone who converted NMI MS, I had done it at my time as well, and I mean, I share the same thought that yes, if having such a great brand name along with such a good ROI and with the great faculty, I always add this in the conversations in the videos that the faculty cannot really be matched by the best of the colleges. You have people coming from FMS. Our principal is herself who has been a part of FMS for so long. Then we have so many teachers coming from the industries, right? So when you look at those things, it's definitely a considerable option that you can put up in comparison to best of the colleges in the country. I'm not really getting the the insights from Rahul and Karan, so I'll try to pick Ashpreet with this on what are the kind of best profiles that come in the college. I usually hear people asking, sir, analytics mein aata hai ya nahi, economics mein kya roles hain, and all of that, right? So what are the kind of best profiles you think you have at SRCC GBO, so that if a person is aligned to those profiles, at least they should be 100% sure about joining the course. So what's your take on that?
So Karan and Rahul have talked about the evolution of placements at SRCC. So I, being a Placecom myself, like we all have observed that there is a huge shift in terms of the kind of roles that are being offered. When I was to join the course, there was a misconception that there are only marketing and sales roles coming in and nothing else. So, which I believe is a huge misconception on that part. Obviously, it depends on what industry demands and the fact that the students of SRCC GBO are able to keep up with what industry is demanding. And we have those skill sets, which is why our recruiters are placing trust in our students, and they're coming in again and again and offering diversified roles. So now it's not, you typically get hired for management trainee, associate, or analyst roles, but the domains are not just limited to marketing. You get into analytics, you get consulting roles, even core specialization areas. So you get finance, you get HR, you get roles into operations. Obviously, the proportion of all these roles are not equal. It is not equal, to be very honest. But if you talk about it in terms of opportunities that are being provided, there are all sorts of opportunities. There are core finance roles, core HR roles, and obviously at the end of the day, it depends on the student whether he's able to crack the interview or not. But if we talk about opportunities, they are there. But if I really have to put bluntly, the top three, if we talk about top three profiles, so there is analytics, there is finance, and there is marketing. That would be my top three. But in terms of opportunities, you get it in all the areas, from core specializations to open-ended roles.
I think that answers the question well, but also is are there people from the batch who are really into core human resources or areas like these where GBO might have less number of roles, but they still are there? Do we have any examples that you would like to give without naming any specific people? Do you get roles into things like HR and others?
Yes, we do. We do this year too. We have gotten students who are placed into core HR roles or core finance roles also. So students are interested. We have the academic curriculum is designed in a way that you get this, gist of all these specializations. And at the end of the day, you can prepare at your end very well to be very good at what you really want to it. And we have seen students getting into core specialization roles as well.
So adding one point to what Ashpreet said, it would be that it also depends on the number of students who are actually interested for a particular role in terms of placements. So when we believe that the top three roles that Ashpreet mentioned, marketing, finance, analytics, they are definitely the most placed roles because most of the students are interested in that role. There's a reason behind that. So the placement committee works in a way who try to get that opportunity for the students where most of them are willing to go forward to. Definitely, we consider each and every individual preference too. If even if we have one or two students for HR in our batch who are willing to go for HR, we'll be giving them abundant opportunities as well. But because the number is less, that is why giving more and more and more opportunities for two students and giving less opportunities for the students who actually want, 15, 20 students who might want to go for marketing, let's say. So it actually plays with the numbers as well. We need to focus accordingly, strategize accordingly, and then bring the companies on board. But there is no doubt in the point which Ashpreet mentioned that the opportunities are abundant for every single role that we can offer. In fact, Rahul is a live example here who is actually an aspirant of HR, and he'll be able to give you more insights and more information on how HR has evolved in our course.
Yes, so I think, in my opinion, the great thing with GBO here is that you do not really have a specialization with HR or finance or marketing or operations. It is a more of a generic management program that provides you specialization in international business. And with that, students are open to explore all the fields and they get to study different subjects related to HR, marketing, operations, everything, but with the perspective of international business. So that is itself a great thing that, that is a great USP of SRCC GBO, right? Because many of times it happens that we are not really sure of, where do we see ourselves in our career, where do we really want to go. So with the SRCC GBO, this program, in the span of these 2 years, you actually get to explore that where your interest lies. Because if I take my case itself, I started my career with finance, and I was never sure that HR is the thing where do I want to go. But now when I got into SRCC, working with the placement cell, doing the internship with HR, and understanding the different aspects of human resources and the different functions, I am understanding that I am a cutout for that. And with that, I am now sure that I want to get into HR. So yes, it is very much rightly said that it being the USP, you get all the different roles of management. So not just that, so you'll get to work, you will get the opportunities in the consulting roles or strategy roles or business analyst roles or firms like who are working in the venture capital space. So these are all the different kinds of roles that are being offered at SRCC GPO.
Okay, no, that's great. I mean, while inviting three of them, I had no idea Rahul is an HR aspirant, but there you have a live example, right? That the people who are or who might be interested in those 2 years in getting into fields like human resources are very much welcome into this course, and they're going to eventually get placed and go into the industry. Rahul, for you, since you have spoken about the HR roles and the other roles, what are the kind of companies who have been visiting, right? You just gave a summary of kind of the consulting strategy and all of these, right? But just at a 30,000 feet view, if we look at a very high level view, if you look at SRCC from that level, what are the kind of companies that visit and what are the kind of roles? Now, this is the part where the aspirant really wants to know that, okay, if I'm not sure on what industry to really take into in those 2 years, what options do I have, right? So as an aspirant, how do you want to answer them?
Yeah, Nikhil. So, basis my 1.5 year working experience with the placement cell and as a student of SRCC GPO itself, I can help you understand what are the kind of companies and the roles are being offered to the students of SRCC GPO, right? We really have onboarded great companies from all the different industries and different sectors, be it from NBFCs or BFSIs or automobile companies or all the companies who are crowned as big fours or big tens, right? And we have had some of the consulting organizations as well. And additionally, some venture capital firms as well, knowing the interest of the student that they want to pursue this line of their career, and trying to answer the kind of roles as I answered in my previous question as well. So, apart from just the normal roles like finance, HR, marketing, operations, we have had different roles being offered like business analyst, strategy roles. We also had research roles. So these are the kind of the differences that are being offered to the students.
Okay, that's awesome. Rahul, from this year's report, when are you really going to post the latest report on the website? And, what are those kind of high level numbers that you want to give to our aspirants? Are the aspirants or the candidates who, take our word for it, who take my word for it, are they going to be really in safe hands of SRCC?
Yes, so as I answered in the previously as well, so this year, touchwood, we have seen the increase with every statistics, and we are nowhere looking forward that we'll be facing any downfall for any of the stats, right? And as you were asking about when are we going to officially release the placement reports and everything, so that comes towards the end of the academic year itself. But we are actually keeping ourselves updated to all the aspirants on the official page of our LinkedIn, and as in when we are signing out all the students with the placement, it will be shared on the public domain on our LinkedIn channel as page as well.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a great
Anything
insight.
you would
Everybody who's planning to join GBO should follow at least their LinkedIn page for all the updates. These guys are very active on their placement page, on their GBO LinkedIn page, as well as you have, I think, pages for each of the societies as well, right? And there are quite a few of them right now. So go follow them. And I would really recommend you to at least connect with three of these folks, the best of the folks at GBO. They will give you a lot of insights that even I might not be able to give you, right? So I'm speaking on their behalf that if you have any questions, go bombard their DM as well, connect with them, and at least ask them the questions that they might have also had in their time, and now they'll be able to answer it for you.
We'll be
Yeah.
more than willing to connect with the aspirants and help them up. And just one answer, one thing on what you asked from us, that what it has been this year, just one sentence would be that the increase since the last year to this year, it has been the best ever increase for GBO so far. And when the
Okay.
placement report releases, the students will be able to realize on what pace GBO is growing and what it can reach, which height it can reach in the next 5 years. I don't want to be too much ambitious, but maybe we would be able to go to the tier one as well if things go well for us. So
No,
the
I mean,
growth has
if
been.
yeah, even if a placement committee member speaks about this, I'll be more confident of what the picture really looks like, right? So if you're painting that picture that way, I think it's really going to be a good time for the candidates who are going to join this year.
So, I just wanted to add that this has been the best season so far, and you were also asking about the recession and effect of market conditions. So we can't really predict that, but so far we have seen 2 years of placement season. Last year too, there was COVID. Our placements didn't affect. It was again the best till then. And this year we have broken our own records, and it's again the best till now. So the fear of recession is there in the market, but we haven't really seen that effect on the placements of our college. It has been going really, really well, and it's about like the effect is there, but it's like the trust that recruiters are placing in our students. Again, I would like to say that it has increased over the time, and there has not been any negative effect on the placements for the recession. So I think that it's only going to grow from here because for the last 2 years we have seen the same, and I only have positive hopes for the coming years as well.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, before we close this video, I would just like to go to Rahul, Ashpreet, and then Karan, each one of you, to share your experience, your honest, pretty dead honest experience for the last 1.5 years for this course. What are your expectations when you entered versus what have you really faced here? It could be some good points. There could be some things that you wished, were better, or that could be more driven by the college or by the students.
So my part of story is no different than any other MBA aspirant. I appeared for CAT, I appeared for all the entrance exams, and there's a certain part of luck also that is there that was not with me. And then I appeared for SRCC GBO and I could convert it, luckily and fortunately. And we were the part of the lucky batch. We have had the one semester in online mode and the rest of it in the offline mode. So we have got to experience both of it, right? And with just a time of 1 month, I could realize that, and I got become the part of the patient cell as well. I could realize that this place is actually is having a lot of potential to make a great difference in your personality and can give you a lot of value addition to yourself. And now when I look back in the last 1.5 years, all I am, all I think about is that I'm really grateful that I could make to this college because there has been a lot of value addition to me. I got to do a really great life projects while being the part of this institute. I got to pursue a great internship that I also got from the campus itself. And now I'm also placed with a great organization. So all I think about is I'm really grateful to all the experience that I have had so far.
So, if I talk about my own experience, I found myself in a dilemma when I was to join the course, whether to do it or not. But when I joined it, and in this 1.5 years of my experience, I've realized that the course has so much of potential, which is actually a little less recognized. And that is a kind of a drawback, which you see because it is little less recognized. But with the years of course of time, we have seen that we have students in our batch from different states of the country and not just Delhi anymore. So it's working on that part. But if I mention a few good points that I have experienced, so the first thing is definitely the opportunity to learn from the best of the faculty there is. We share it with the undergraduate courses as well, and they have great expertise in the subjects that they are teaching. Then apart from that, the visiting faculty, which also, who also teach in some of the top tier business schools of the country, and then they bring with themselves industry experience. And when they come to your class, they don't just come with a bunch of slides. They give you their experience, which gives you an opportunity to learn from it and helps you in the long run. Then again, the student-driven cells, which Rahul has talked about, the guest lecture opportunities, which give you a chance to really apply the skills that you're learning into practical use. You get to network with a lot of good industry people, which I think is very, very great here. Then again, the freedom to explore multiple domains. You can actually find yourself in this course of 2 years. So you might start thinking that you like some particular domain, but you might end up doing something completely different. So that is the freedom this course has to offer to you, which is very, very beneficial. Then obviously the monetary aspect, when you look at it, which is very, very good over here. So overall, if I talk about my experience, it has been full of learning and personal development and growth. And if I look back at my decision of joining SRCC GBO, I only feel good things about it. So that is my experience.
So my experience before joining GBO, I would say I was one of the most confused candidates among the India before joining any B school on what profile to go for, on what sector to go in, on what type of company to choose. I didn't know anything. I have directly joined after my graduation. I haven't worked before, full-time work. I haven't done anywhere. So I was completely dicey and it was unpredictable for me. I wanted to experience what marketing has to offer. I wanted to experience what HR also has to offer and all the other fields as well, and decide accordingly on where to go. And I believe there are a lot of aspirants like this who maybe are not sure on what field they'll be entering. And for me, GBO as a course, as everybody knows, that the course doesn't ask for any specialization. They don't offer any particular field or anything from a candidate. They are preparing a candidate for all the profiles that we can think of. The curriculum is designed in a way where we are being taught every single subject. Even if I want to go only for marketing, I'm being taught HR, I'm being taught finance, I'm being taught every single field. So that was one of the best advantages for me. The theoretical knowledge and the faculty that we have, they actually tend to give you the practical knowledge as well. They actually tend to take up live projects with you, that they work on various type of activities with you in the classes, in the batches, just to get you the feel and to make you understand what this particular field has to offer. So for people like me who are actually not sure on where to go, it's one of the best opportunities I could have gotten. I didn't have to choose anything, and it took me a year to finally land to a decision that I want to go for a marketing strategy profile, because if you see, it's a very specific domain. It's not marketing, it's marketing strategy. So I actually explored all the aspects of marketing as well, just to understand which is the best suitable thing for me. And I would love to actually help anybody out there who would want to connect and understand. If they're confused as I am, I would say it's a very good choice. Go ahead with it. There's no problem with the course. It has been actually performing wonders, and we hope that it'll be going ahead superb in the future.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, I mean, I would just like to say, if you can, if you can share this video with all your aspirant friends in your MBA groups, that would be great. But over and above, comment down below all your queries. When I entered this course in 2017, there were, a couple of channels who were making videos. There were some reviews on Quora, which were like 10 years back, which used to be mainly negative, and even I was very, very demotivated. And that was the whole inspiration of starting the process of actually speaking out when you're a part of the course and when you're out of the course. How is the industry treating you, right? So there are going to be a couple of more videos on the channel. One is going to be around the preparation, for which we are picking up the top 5-7 rankers of SRCC GBO last year. And then there's going to be a video from a perspective of people who have been in the industry for 5 or more years. So I'm going to call a couple of alumni of SRCC GBO as well. So stay tuned to the channel so that you can hear out more stuff and you make a very, very informed decision, right? With that, thank you so much, Rahul, Ashpreet, and Karan, for joining in today. I know it's nearly the New Year time, and you guys still join. So thank you so much. I wish everyone a very, very happy New Year, and hope you get the best of the MBA college that you deserve.